Greetings everyone, this is Thetruthwillrise back with a new video. So I've been getting emails and messages and whatnot, not only from supporters of various parties, but even, I guess, these automated campaign emails, asking me, do I support candidate X for president or candidate Y for president? Which, of course, my answer is no. They don't support me, so I don't. And besides, they're all actors anyway, so why buy into pro wrestling, basically, for the masses? Political pro wrestling, let's call it that. And what's particularly sickening and saddening is that the rhetoric, the crap that's spewed in these emails is then it leaches out into the collective psyche of a lot of people who are taking a stance on these political issues. And I hear and see people arguing over the most asinine of subjects. Like, these people are really going to bat for you. And my take on it, honestly, is this and this only. Reminds me, you know what it reminds me of, really? Of a group of hoes arguing over what pimp is the best. It doesn't matter what pimp is the best. At the end of the day, the hoes still lose. They're still getting pimped. It's the exact same thing. People get so emotional over Democrats and Republicans, and no matter who gets in office, stuff still gets worse. But yet and still, you sit there and argue that it's always the other party's fault and never yours. Not stopping to think that maybe both of them are collectively bending you over and giving you the Vin Rames treatment in Pulp Fiction. Could be, because I can guarantee you this, both congressionally and from a presidential standpoint. Whatever group wins, okay, the opposite group will say the same thing that the previous group said to get in power. And you'll fall for it, like you always do, and only to be disappointed. I can't understand why, in 2012, seeing the track record of the political system, which is obviously and markedly corrupt, do people expect honesty in this system? Because this is a system where the honest people either get buried, weeded out, or they get turned. I'm sorry. It is what it is. All the things come out, and they just keep rolling along with impunity. And no one seems to mind. No one seems to care. The Olympics were on, I know. And football season is starting. And, that's what really matters. I know. And the way I look at it, it's just ridiculous. I mean, just at the end of the day, I've said it before, and I feel the need to keep saying it, because obviously it's not sinking in, and I'm not the only one who's been saying these things. At the end of the day, the people, it's not people in Washington or wherever that have this direct power over you, or whatever the media is telling you. I mean, what did Assad and Ahmadinejad do to you today? If you're unemployed, is it because Assad, did he do it? Did Ahmadinejad do it? Did Osama bin Laden do it? I don't think he did. Okay? Which those, more actors, more made up stuff. But at the end of the day, you have the power over your situation, not some goof actor in a $4,000 suit reading cue cards, because that's essentially what they are. If you want to improve your situation, do it yourself. You know, do it that way. Because at the end of the day, those people, they're operating on interests that run counter to yours. And at the end of the day, they're going to go with what's making them fat, what they eating off of, and it's not working for you. So get that myth out of your head, first of all, that they're working for you. It's almost, this may sound weird, but it's kind of true. Like, all the pomp and circumstance that goes on with all of these political people, it's what I call the Freddy Krueger effect. And for those of you who've seen the movies, you know what I mean. You know, he feeds off attention and fear and whatnot. If you would stop giving them that and externalizing all that power, they would then have none. Because by doing that, you're taking back responsibility for what goes on in your life and how things happen. Because it is ultimately with you and I, the individual, as well as the people collectively, through which true power affecting change lies. And the sooner we realize that, that's when things can really get moving. Because if you're waiting for a bunch of lawyers and corrupt, crooked businessmen who sit around in Washington to do it for you, it ain't gonna happen. So come off the boo-boo and thinking that it is, because it ain't. You've had mounds of evidence and history and a proven track record to show you that that's not going to happen. But what you can do is take charge of your situation here on the planet, of improving your experience and that of your family, and having that energy then leak out to your community and so on and so forth. Not people in Washington. It's time to stop waiting on some politician or some whatever to come in and save you. You can do it yourself without waiting for these goofs to do it for you. And by doing that, you know, you're taking control over your own life, and it's about time you took it back and stopped letting other people in certain issues do the thinking for you. Because you're powerful and you can do it yourself. And by continuing to engage in these ridiculous arguments and things and just thinking that these people are working for you, you're continuously feeding into the system, and that energy that you're spending is not being spent on elevating yourself and your situation and your experience here on planet Earth. So that's all I got to say on that subject. I'm going to get out of here, hopefully taking something away from this video, and just every day try to do something to improve your situation here on the planet. This is The Truth Will Rise. Wishing everyone peace, power, and positivity.